Hello everyone, the 4th of July is right around the corner, so I have, I think, 5 crafts today that we're gonna go ahead and do for that. This first one, I've got this little shirt for my son. I wanted to make him a little 4th of July shirt, so we're gonna go ahead and just jump right into this because we have so much to do. Okay, so I will, of course, link all of the designs that I have below. And all of these crafts are going to be 4th of July themed. And of course, we're going to do a lint roll. I mean, if you just see like all the fuzz and gunk that comes up from that, we don't want that getting in between the iron-on and the shirt. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to go ahead and do a 315 for 30 seconds. This is my Cricut Easy Press. So we'll do one at a time, and I have 2 colors, and I have these handy little t-shirt placers. So this one's adult, infant, let's use toddler. Okay, I love these, they're very convenient, and I like that they have like a 2X and then like a youth. They're really convenient, and of course I will absolutely link these below. So I'm going to go ahead and align this with the center. Let's try to get this straight. Okay, first of all, let's make sure my shirt is folded straight. I think that's important. Okay, that actually looks really good. Okay, this over a little bit so that I can have this straight. Okay. Okay, that's gonna be fine. Okay, that'll all be fine. All right, so let's go ahead and get this straight. Now, you can absolutely fold this together and use your press to get like a center line, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm using the corners up here to tell if it's straight in the middle, and that sounds good to me. Okay, so here's my decal. So this one, I will actually take these, and because you can't use the film because it's not always perfectly square or perfectly centered, there's my little chime. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna use the sunglasses, and I will boop, just make a little indentation in that, and now I can get this perfectly centered. And I'm gonna make sure that the sunglasses are right underneath my alignment tool there. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, so that's where that's gonna be for him. Okay, so let me go ahead and take my press here. Actually, I'm gonna put my mat underneath. Allegedly, my glass mat is heat protected, but okay, so we're gonna do some firm pressure on this. So I'm actually gonna get up and I'm gonna push. This is a heavy cotton Gildan shirt. I don't love these. I wish that I could have had a Bella canvas for him, especially in the summertime, but that's okay. So we are doing a cool peel. So what I'm gonna do right now is flip this over. I'm gonna let the glass draw out the heat. I'm just gonna give it a little, you don't have to with the cotton poly blend, but I'm just gonna give it a little heat on the back. That does help it sometimes adhere just a little bit better. So I'm gonna let all the heat get drawn out on the glass. Look at that, it's already basically cool to the touch. Okay, so we're gonna keep going. Okay. All right, let's see how we did. Okay, so it looks like we are lifting up a little bit right here. So I'm gonna actually just give it another, maybe we'll say like 15 seconds. Ooh, that is a hot glass. Okay, let's go ahead and, because I didn't, oh yeah, look at that. I didn't put my, my heat mat down. So I try not to do heat on it. Like I said, it is supposed to be able to take heat, but it just feels like for the longevity of my glass mat, that I won't do it. Okay, so it's still a little bit warm. We'll go ahead and leave that. So here's the second layer. Okay, and I think it's gonna be so cute for him to wear to daycare, just nothing serious. So I actually did a little oopsies on this one. The stars were supposed to be weeded, and the glasses, the lens for this glass was supposed to be what stayed, but I made it work, and I share that with you just to let you know that, like, we can definitely make our accidents work, okay? And I think it looks really good with the stars. Okay, so let's try to, okay. So this is pulling very aggressively, but I'm not overly concerned about it because it's going to get more heat when I put the red on. Okay. Okay, and then let's align this where I want it. I love HTV because it's got this sticky, oh, that's not straight. It's got this sticky, if you can hear that, this sticky protective film. And that makes it to where you can align things very perfectly, like you can't do with vinyl. So if you're ever doing, say, like wood projects, I think that iron-on is a lot better to use sometimes because, you're able to get this like perfect. So the way that I cut this, it exposes some of this boy. Like you can see like the liner, I don't know if you can see that very well, but my boy is exposed, and we never want exposed iron-on to the press. Okay, so a couple important things to note. One, I'm touching all of this to make sure that all of this gets covered. Let me double check. So the glasses, they are covered just barely, but they are covered. So I want to make sure that all of the iron-on is protected by the sheet. It's a carrier sheet. But another thing that's important is I want to make sure that I don't overlap the red. So where I put more, I don't want to make sure that I have two sheets of protective film. So let's go ahead, and again, I'm going to get up and I'm going to really give this some pressure. Okay. Let's see how we did. You see how that color changed? My goodness. Okay. So I am going to allow this. It's still warm, my goodness. Whew, hot. Hot shirt. Gosh, yeah, be very careful because just because it's fabric, it really does pull in that heat. It is very hot. I'm trying to get to these like cold areas because it's still, oh, that is hot. So, but the glass does such a good job of cooling these shirts down. It makes it so fast. Okay. All right. So let's take this one off. You see how much nicer this pulls though? Yeah, that second, okay. Yeah, you see we're already coming up right there. Okay, let me see how the rest of it's doing. Everyone else seems to be okay, but I am going to give it another press. And the heat mat that I put underneath, it is great, but I do feel like it does affect the ability, oh goodness, the ability to really get that pressure you need. It's up to you. I don't mind doing it a couple times, giving it a test try. These ones just didn't work the first time, but that's all right. Okay, same concept. Okay. Okay, and this is just gonna be a cute little shirt for my son to wear to daycare. And he's only 2, so this is a 4T. So he'll have a shirt for maybe a couple years. Maybe. He grows pretty fast. So let's see. Okay. All right. And of course, the blue is laid down nicely. Let's see how we're doing under here. Beautiful. That actually pulled off very well too. Look how cute that is. I love it. I am super excited. We love to tell my son that he has surprises and he gets super excited. He doesn't really care what it is. He just loves that he gets surprises. So I think he is going to love this. Look how cute. I am super happy with this. This is just so adorable. I love it. Okay, he's gonna love it. I love it. So the next craft, we'll go ahead and make, I got this tray from, this one's from Target. It's got like stuff on it. I'll have to clean it, of course, but this is a little food tray from Target. I got it for $10. Of course, I'm gonna link it all, like everything that I used, of course, that I can find in the description box. This was just $10, and I love it because it's super versatile. We can do a lot with it. So I got these, I got this SVG. I don't even remember where I got this one, to be quite honest, but I will look. And I'm just gonna put some vinyl on this. You know, we do have some plans, so I just thought this would be really fun just to decorate this cute little tray and be able to put like our snacks on it. Okay, and I am using the weeding tool that you get from like the HTV Ront. I always read it as HT Vront, and I know that's not it. Okay, so I have some transfer tape that I'm going to go ahead and measure and cut right now. And you can absolutely, if you feel it's necessary, you could cut all of these in one row, but you'd have to do letter by letter. I'm going to save this for future projects. But I didn't feel like I wanted to do that. I did cut as much out of that one as I could to save the scraps. Excuse me. But I didn't feel like I needed to with the red. I've had this red one for such a long time that I don't really use it that much. I don't even use it very much at like Christmas time either. Okay, so we got this. Now let's go ahead and I'm actually going to do the blue one first. The reason is this one just has a lot more on it. Okay. Oh goodness, I laid that down very, very wrinkly. That's okay. Make it good. Okay. Don't be like me. Measure out, or like, you know, lay your transfer tape down a little bit better. This is like, oh, it's not even long enough. That's okay. That's okay. All right, let's take this. That was so loud. Just gonna get any oils off of this. Okay. All right, so we cleaned that off just to get any oils, dirt, debris, that kind of thing off. So let me go ahead and peel this off. I like to peel the back off of the front. You see, like these letters that are hanging off the edge, not even an issue. Okay, this is Cricut vinyl, and that's why I have it and I'm not worried about waste, is because I don't use this that frequently. Okay. Okay, these are just not, they're not wanting to come up, and that's okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut this across. Okay, so I finally got this weeded. It was a battle, whew, but we did it. Okay, so now I'm gonna try and see where I want this to lay, because this is, so I didn't put all four corners on this, but this is the corner, this is the corner, and this is the corner, so that's very helpful. I'm gonna have to stand up so I can see this better. So I'm just gonna slowly lay that down one side to the other. Okay. Okay, so let's just burnish, burnish, burnish. So another option would have been to reverse this and put this on the other side, because vinyl is not actually food safe. So this is a food tray, but I mean, an easy remedy is I just tell people, oh goodness, I just tell people to use parchment paper. Fixes it right up. Just put some parchment paper on it, and then it's usable, and it's cute because you could also use this as some decor if you wanted to. Okay. All right, this vinyl, love this acrylic tray. I love using acrylic for this reason. Okay, so now let's pick up our red. Now we can reuse this multiple times. Oh, good. Oh goodness. Okay, we'll use this as many times as it'll let us. Yeah, like I said, this is not my favorite transfer tape. But I have it and I would love to use it. Okay, so let's burnish the back too. So by burnishing the back, we're able to hopefully get that to stick down a little bit better. Okay, let's go this way. All right. Whew, deep breath, deep breath. Okay, so let's get this going. Let's get you aligned. Okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take, here's what I'm gonna do. So this is parchment paper. And I just keep a piece of parchment paper behind my seat, and then that way I'm able to take this, and then don't stick this part down yet. I can take this and I can align these the way that I want. Okay, so like this E is not aligned. Okay. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, so I can now stick these down, and then I'll lift this up, and now I'll stick these down. I could have tried to make that work, but with how much trouble it was giving me, I just was not ready to risk it. Okay. Slow, paying attention to all of my corners as I approach them. All right, one more. All right, you know, this is the definition of insanity, right? I know this transfer tape has given me this much trouble, but I'm gonna do it again. I want you to break my heart one more time. Okay. I think I'm just completely missing a piece. I am. That's okay. Whew. All right. This little surgery trick will be just fine. I missed that E, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. There you go. Now we have the E. let's all look at how this is an Oracal 651. And that peeled up very easily, which I'm not surprised about because it's Oracal vinyl and not Cricut. Okay. Put you right there. I didn't even put that back. Okay. All right, and our last little transfer. Okay. Okay. All right, and now here we go. Just gonna lay these down. How fun! You know, I just realized you can barely see this tray, but this is super cute. And like I said, I'm just gonna like probably cut a piece of parchment paper to fit, and you'll still be able to see this design, you know, and if you wanted to, you could put it on the back and just, you know, reverse it. And then that way you could see it underneath, but it has this little piece on it right here, and I didn't wanna deal with that. So I thought this was perfectly fine. I think this is gonna be so cute. I can just put like some chips, you know, and some other like snacks, pretzels, maybe even just do like a kid's tray for the kids. This is so cute. And like for this tray, $10, that was not bad. Okay, I think this is so cute. Okay, so let's move on to our next craft. Okay, so I have this little shot glass. It's like tapered. I actually got this a long time ago in a really large box. I actually had an order for, I don't remember, it was like over 100 shot glasses, and these were just extras. So loud, I'm so sorry. Here's some more Cricut transfer tape that I want to get used. Like I said, I know it's gonna break my heart, but I'm just gonna do it. Going to cut this little piece off, and I will save the rest of it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to make this 4th of July, and I love Armor Etch. If you subscribe to my channel, you'll see that I use Armor Etch relatively frequently. I think it's an incredibly helpful and like versatile tool. And as a person who owns multiple lasers, I actually like Armor Etch better than my lasers. And the reason is because the way that it actually interacts with the glass, it just leaves a much better look. And I'll show you what I mean towards the end. Because the laser will actually etch, or, you know, kind of remove the layer of the glass in an uneven way. But this almost puts like a frosted paint on it, as weird as that sounds. So I'll show you what I mean when it's done. I don't think I have any engraved glass items on me, but this is an etched glass look, which I just love better. I just think it's very even, it's very smooth. So you will weed out your design in the opposite way that you would normally. So, you know, where you would normally keep your design, you want to weed it because you really just want the outline. We're just making a stencil, right? So with this design, I would have kept the 4th of July piece, and I just put a box around it so that it cut that, and then I just cut the opposite piece. So I'm gonna put this on here, and I'm gonna try to get this centered and level. Because there's a curve on this, we want to just be mindful of it. And the beauty of, so with this one particularly, I have a very thick base. So I want to make sure that I try to get it up here. So you'll probably see, I have to like pop my head in here. Okay. So I'm going to start in the middle. Very slowly. Okay, so now you see how this is like bending upward because it's curved. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it to relieve some of that tension, and go ahead and now lay it down. Okay, and that was very simple. Okay. So the etching is actually dishwasher safe and it's permanent, you know, and it is actually a much better way to put your designs in. So there we go. How simple was that? Okay, so we put the stencil on, okay. Okay, and then, so if you read the directions, it's not going to be used for plastic or Pyrex, not intended for large solid areas. Don't ingest or inhale it. So I do have an N95 mask here that I'm going to put on. And we'll wear protective clothing, eye protection, rubber gloves. Rinse the container before you throw it away. Let me see. Okay, so the instructions here are just step 1, apply it to any stencil to a clean, dry, etchable glass object. Brush on a thick layer, wait 1 to 3 minutes, and then use running water and rinse it off. Here's my take on it. I will wait 5 to 10 minutes. And actually sometimes up to 20. I've just noticed that the 1 to 3 minutes is a very short amount of time, and I've never had it mess up with waiting longer. So nothing bad has ever happened. Not to say that it wouldn't, but follow the instructions. This is just how I do it. Again, I'm just gonna make sure that I push down, especially all these tiny little stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dab. Okay. So I want to be careful not to like brush, because I don't want to like accidentally kind of force my way under the vinyl. I'm just going to work out of the cap. So the instructions, again, please take my instructions with a grain of salt. I don't work for Armor Etch. I don't know enough to tell you if the way I do it is better, but this is just the way that I do it. Again, if we do brush strokes, just keep them very small. So I focus on getting kind of like step 1 on here, just kind of pressing it all on there. Just get everything covered is what I do first. And when you're making your box in your design, it's important to make sure that you give yourself a big enough buffer. We don't want to just very slightly cover it. Just put yourself a big box. You know, we want to make sure that we don't, you know, kind of go off on either edge here. So I'm going to make sure that I just get every bit with some Armor Etch on it, because even if I were to put the tiniest amount right here, it would etch it. almost immediately. So what I do is I will get the first coat on. Again, especially with these really tiny stars, I know they're not going to show up perfectly, but I would like them to show up, you know, somewhat. Yeah, I'm making this for just a friend of ours. I'm going to put together just a little basket because we do have like a little 4th of July get together that we're going to go to. So I'm going to make this. I'm going to put this in just like a little gift basket. I think it's kind to bring gift baskets, and I love making them. I just think they're so fun to make. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave this for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then I'm going to actually put a second coat on. So I will see you back when this is done in 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and do the next coat. Okay, and I'm not focusing on adding. I'm just focusing on moving, right? Because there's some spots that are a little bit less covered. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of get, you know, corners, any spots that maybe are very lightly covered. I'm just gonna make sure have a decent coverage. And it is really important to make sure that you do wear your protective equipment. Even if you think I'm using a paintbrush, I'm not touching it. You know, this is a chemical, it is an etching cream. I normally don't sit here and do it. But I've got my mask on, I've got my gloves on, and I can actually, I feel like, I don't know if it's power of suggestion, but I can feel like my eyes. I don't normally do it in this like small of a space. I normally do it in a very like a much more open space. So, okay, so now I'm gonna leave this for actually about another 10 minutes. I'm gonna move it into another room, and then we can keep going and we'll get to the next craft and we'll come back to this. For our next project, we have a cake topper, which I think is really fun because we're gonna make, I think we're gonna make just like a little like fruit cake. I don't know if you've seen those a long time, like not a real fruit cake like you'd see at like Christmas, but you know, like just like a little like watermelon cake. You know, we're gonna cut like the watermelon rind off, and then I think I'm going to like cut a hole in the middle of the watermelon and put more fruit, you know, and then like ice it with like whipped cream. And I'm gonna put this on top, and I think it's gonna be super cute. It's just gonna be a really, really refreshing fruit cake. I put a very long pause in there so that you don't think I'm making like a Christmas fruit cake. But I think it's gonna be super fun. So if you can imagine just this with, you know, like that little tray full of like maybe sandwiches and like chips and snacks and pretzels and you know, some drinks in there. I think that'd be so much fun. It's just gonna be really cute. So this, I cut this acrylic out with my laser, so this is not something that's, you can absolutely make it out of cardstock and just do a few layers of cardstock. That's also totally doable. And then you can buy, I mean, I think you can buy like 100 like acrylic sticks. And you can just glue those on there. Obviously, if you've ever made a cake topper, that's an option for you. I just made it out of acrylic because it's easier, and like the longevity, like we can use this, you know, next year. So I'm using more of this. I just want to use this up I do. I just want it gone. I don't want to see it again. Unfortunately, I can go this way. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay. That's okay. We don't waste. We don't waste here. I hate wasting things. I try to save like as much as I can as far as like my materials and stuff, because they not only do they cost money, but you know, it's important to me not to be wasteful. It's a value that I have. Once upon a time, I had a scraper. Oh, my scraper is with the shot glass. So, okay. So we get to fight with vinyl again. There we go. There that is. Oh my goodness, why is this so hard? Why is it so hard? Oh gosh, it's just all of it. It's just all of it. Why are you doing this? It's so silly. It's just so silly to me. Why this is so difficult. That's okay. I'm probably just like pulling it too hard of an angle. I'm used to using, I don't even know what it's called. Again, I'll link my favorite one down below because I don't even really know what it's called. Here's what I'm actually gonna do. I'm gonna do this way. That looks good. Okay. So now this is gonna pick everything up together. So of course, like there's almost always more than one way to do things. Almost always more. You know, and that's the beauty of it. So if you'll notice, I did make a mistake. And that mistake is that I cut this too big. Because I originally had the cake topper as a 5-inch wide. But I made this 6 inches because I originally had it 6 inches and I brought it down to a 5-inch, and this is 6 inches. So this is going to be kind of a small thing, but what I'm going to do is I can fix it. Okay, so let's So these things, I mean, we can almost always fix these little oops-a-daisies. Oops. Oops. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I can put this right here. I don't even think that really looks that bad, but I think all that I'm going to do is this. Okay, and then I'm gonna come back to this and I'm gonna fix it. And I have a plan. I don't even think it really looks that bad. It might not even actually need fixing. I actually like this the way that it is. You know what? I'm not gonna fix it because I really like it. I love that. I'm gonna save this. You know that I don't want to, but I'm going to save it. This is the... I really like that. I love that. I'm happy with it. I actually like how big it is. I love putting vinyl on acrylic. It always sits so nicely. Yeah, I'm very happy with it. Okay. I like it. I love this. It's gonna look so cute. Okay, and let's move on to our last craft, but first we're gonna check on our shot glass, and I think that we're ready to go clean that off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start removing the armor etch. I like to just use the paintbrush that I used to apply it and just push it all off. So I have a clean sink. I've taken all of my dishes out of my sink. I put them in the dishwasher just to keep everything clean and just try not to, you know, contaminate anything. So It's very diluted now, so I've never noticed that it did anything to my sink. So if you look at it right now, we don't really notice a lot of difference. But let's go ahead and remove the vinyl. I've noticed that it's easier to remove the vinyl with the water running. Okay. Let's give it a dry. Okay, and let's go take a look. Okay, and here is our 4th of July cut. Hang on. There you go. You can see it a little bit. I promise it's not this hard to see in person, but we got all the little stars in there and all the edges are just really crisp. And if you do a laser, again, like you kind of etch into the glass, and I just don't love what it looks like because it's very inconsistent. This is super consistent. Here. You can see, like, again, I promise it's so much easier to see in person, but it's a lot more consistent. It's a lot just nicer to look at. And I'm really impressed with the stars. The stars all showed up really well. So here's this. You can make a bunch of these, really. I mean, they're just really easy to do if you batch them. So, all right, well, there's an option, and let's move on to our last craft. Okay, so this one is going to be, we're gonna make a little oh my gosh, a little onesie for my newest nephew. We're gonna just make him the cutest little onesie, and we're gonna do this, you know, very same process that we did for the toddler shirt. We're just gonna go in kind of rounds. But this time, the difference is I'm not gonna use the easy press for it. I'm going to use my mini press. And like I said, I do love my mini press. The reason that I'm not gonna use the easy press is because it's larger than the actual onesie, so these seams could give it a hard time, especially like in these areas. It'll give it a hard time making contact with the design, with the iron-on, and I just want to make sure that we have all of the contact. So that's why I'm going to use the mini press, but I actually prefer the mini press. I love the mini press. So I'm not upset about it. I don't think it actually takes like very much longer with the mini press. So if you are wanting to get into iron-on, or like you're wanting to get a Cricut and you don't have the space or the money for an easy press or even one of those larger shirt presses, I think the mini press is so versatile. I mean, they're not made for, you know, really large amounts of things. So if you're kind of like manufacturing shirts and designs, then maybe it's not going to be for you, but I think it's a really good start. I have definitely done very large designs with the the mini press, just because I didn't feel like getting out the other one. So, oh goodness, hang on. Why do these look like they're not aligning? That's okay. I may have to cut these out and do them kind of one at a time. So we're gonna have to do them one at a time regardless. So, oh my gosh, look at how small. So cute. So cute, so small. Okay, so of course we're gonna lint roll first. Okay. We're gonna get this nice and cleaned up. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this on. This is probably cotton. So I'll probably just do like a 30-second medium. So the medium is gonna be these two little squiggles. We're just gonna let it heat up, and we're gonna wait for the chime just like we did with the easy press. Okay, clean up my space here. Yeah, and as of this morning, I have a little new niece too, so I feel bad for making this one for my nephew, who is, I mean, a few weeks old now, and now I have another niece as well. So maybe I will have to. That's why. It's because I forgot I cut off. That's why they're not aligning, because I cut it off like a silly person. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, this is my top. This is for the most part my bottom. So I'm going to keep those ones together, and then I'm gonna get out these handy dandy, look at that. These are so handy, there's so many, and I think I only paid like $6 or $7, maybe even $8 for all of them, but it's so handy. And they just go on the hook with my my Cricut mats, and it just makes it very simple. Doo-doo, we're ready. Okay, align, and again, I like to just make sure that I'm aligned with this bottom part, and then I like to make sure that I'm aligned with my lefts and rights. Okay, so, okay. I'm not gonna leave that there because I can see that I forgot to weed something. So let me leave this here, but I forgot to weed out the middle of these sunglasses. There you go. There you go. Much better. Okay. So we will have to go layer by layer. I still have the cover sheet for my other ones. Let me just lay all this together and make sure this is gonna look good. I think this is gonna be fine. Yeah, that'll be okay. Yeah, I think that's good placement. It feels a little bit high, but he's also a baby. So, okay, so let's go ahead and get this started. Oh, let me get my heat mat. Gosh, I always forget that. And again, the mini press is meant for movement, so I just kind of like to do small swirls, but I like to really focus on one area, so I don't want to just do like the whole thing like this, because I feel like the heat needs to be a little more consistent, so I actually kind of really just use it like it's an iron. Okay, and I'm not really counting. I should have been, but you can set a timer if you have like an Alexa, or you know, you use your Siri, but I forget I have those things if I use them, so, okay. Okay, I think that was probably okay. I'm gonna turn them around and just give a little hit on the back, just to really try to get that to adhere all the way, okay? Alrighty. So, we have 4 layers to do, so this is gonna be a little bit longer, but because it's such a smaller design, hopefully I don't have to do it twice like I did with the toddler shirt. Okay, so let's see how we did. And even if this one's not perfect, I'm not gonna be too concerned about it because we still have 3 more layers. I think we're gonna be okay. So let's go ahead and do I'm gonna do my red layer, but I have to do it in a way that makes sense because, okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this round first. Okay. Okay. Okay, again, just trying to draw this heat out. Just wanted to get that top bit all by itself. Now, generally, I don't like to overlap the carrier sheets, but I really wanted to here just because I wanted to make sure that everything did lay down together. But by doing the, you know, like some extra passes. Look at that. Okay, that worked out really well. Okay. Okay. So Okay, so what I did there was okay, so that worked out great. Okay. So because I have all of these really small pieces, I think I'll probably just do the same thing again. Okay. So you are like a little party hat. Okay, so here are our firecrackers. Okay, and then here's my actual word firecracker. Okay, so I need to find the middle here. Okay, same thing, gonna go ahead and do the... Okay, does that look even? I think that looks pretty even. Okay, and let's go ahead and do this last one. Okay, and then there we go. That was involved. And then this is like a little red, white, and blue hearts that I have. Let me see. Yeah, this is the iron-on that I used for it. It's just got little like red, white, and blue hearts on it. So that's what I used. And I think that's really cute. I love that. So I will send this to my little nephew for his first 4th of July. Okay, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for being here. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you want to see more fun crafts using my laser and my Cricut and my Cricut tools, my heat tools. I'm so grateful that you've made it this far. Let me know in the comments anything that you liked or anything that you didn't like. And if you make any of these crafts, go ahead and tag me. I'll leave my Instagram in the description box below. And I will see you guys next time.